Hello there. Welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. Big weekend of racing coming up at the Spa, Saratoga, hosting the Whitney Stakes. It's time to let the big dogs eat. We've seen enough of the 3-year-olds to know what's going on there. Now it's time to separate the big dogs from the lesser big dogs, so to speak. We're going to do a split the pot giveaway this week. This race is going to be an excellent race to do that on. Should be a good betting race for a change in these big ones. So if you are new to the channel, just check the description for the details. The videos coming out this week, I'll have plenty of that coming. But basically, to get your name in the draw, you have to be a subscriber. You have to leave a comment and smash that like. Use the hashtag BHS to promote Billy Ho Sports. All that very much appreciated. And we're going to go get right into things with the preview of the Whitney Stakes. We are going at 9 furlongs for the 4-year-olds and up. And this is a tough race. There's 5 horses in this race with 150 plus prime power points on Brisnet, and they're all within about 2 points of each other. So let's get right into it. A bit of news, sort of, so to speak. Mindframe, number 1, has just looked absolutely awesome this year. After being kind of an immature type of horse, almost winning some major stakes races like the Belmont and stuff like that last year. Then this year comes in a lot better, grinded out that win at the Churchill Downs Stakes, then dominated the Stephen Foster. Can't argue a horse is in better form than him, but Ripoli's already said, Mike Ripoli, the owner of Ripoli Stables. If you don't know him on X, he's very much a character, or if you watch the Netflix show, he kind of comes off as an asshole, but he's just kind of like just one of them flamboyant kind of guys that you probably have to know him to like him. But anyway, he's only going to run Fierceness. So if Fierceness somehow comes up with a fever or scratches out, it's like he's kind of hedging his bets finally, because he's lost a few top contenders close to race time before, as we all know, with horses like Forte and whatnot. But so if Fierceness doesn't go, then Mindframe would stay in. But if Fierceness is good to go, Mindframe's going to scratch and look elsewhere. So I kind of poo-poo that because I kind of almost want to see how Mindframe would do. We've seen enough of Fierceness in these big races, but we really haven't seen Mindframe face this kind of competition since last year. Number 2 is going to be Skippy Longstocking. Of course, the guy, what can you say about him? He's carved out such a great career. One of the most durable, consistent, and battle-tested older males in American racing. 21 out of 32 in the money, 5 years old, never broke form cycle. The only thing that's eluded him is the grade 1 victory, but I don't think he gets it here. But it's lovely to have him in the race. I'd like to see how he does. And then we have number 3, very intriguing horse, Highland Falls. He looks like a go. So the Jockey Club Gold Cup last year, 10 furlongs, classic distance at Saratoga. Very impressive. When I went back and looked at the race, the field was probably a little less than a top field. I had Pyrenees and Arthur's Ride, who did take the Whitney by storm last year, but and he tried to do it again. But what the impressive part about the victory by Highland Falls was the way he took it right after Arthur's Ride, got right up on his hip in the opening quarter, did not let him get loose on the lead and settle down. He kept the pressure on him throughout the entire race, grinded his way down the stretch until he finally gave it up just past the mile pole. And then he extended out the lead and got home and actually increased the pace to a +7 on the, if you look on the pace settings, the second call went in +7. So the 2025 debut looked sharp, training well. 5-year-old by Curlin, trained by Brad Cox, Louis Saez aboard this time, not Flavian Pratt. So don't know if that's an uptick, downtick. Louis is kind of bottoming out just a little bit from a hot run earlier this year, but good horse, and I'm intrigued by him being in it. Now, number 4, we get into one that caught me off guard, but Mama's Gold. Long shot entry from trainer James Ferraro. He actually, long shot special, he blew up the tote board 40-1 last fall in the Empire Classic, went wire to wire. Now, it was a state-restricted race, also state-restricted. He showed a lot of fight in the second place in the commentator most recently, and then 2 back, the Excelsior, was more open stakes. He faced good horses like Philly's Fog, and he got beat pretty badly on paper, but when I went back and looked at the race, he's a really speedy horse, has to break fast, gets out to the lead. Well, the thing that happened to him is he stumbled pretty hard out of the gate, and then Philly's Fog was the 6 horse to the inside of him. He was the 7 horse, and Philly's Fog kept him outside the whole way and was running right next to him and would not let him pass until he actually burned up a lot of early speed doing that. And then he just got cut, I forget, Rajiv Marat, I think was the rider. He just cut him loose and tried to take it to the house. And of course, he died a slow death, and Philly's Fog finally run him down. But he ran a 22 and 4/5 opening quarter, and that was just too much for him to take. So he could be a little bit better than he looked in that race. So we'll have to see, but no doubt he's going to be setting an early pace. So we should be honest as long as he stays in. Then you got number 5, Sierra Leone. And I was really disappointed in that debut, as were many. We were all left scratching our heads over that. But then he came out within a length of mind frame in the Stephen Foster, and not the best setup for him. I kind of like him better at the classic 10 furlong distance rather than this 9 furlongs. But he does feel like he's on schedule to defend that Breeders' Cup Classic title. As far as he's been improving every race, he ran a 103 Brisnet number the last time out. So if he can break better, he actually didn't break very well in the Stephen Foster. He kind of rattled in the gate when he came out. And then, but because in races like this, you really need all things to go right. So I do like his chances. He's probably a lock for the exotics. I mean, no, I'd say probably you could, if you had a horse you really like to key on top, he'd be a cold exacta type where I think he could be no worse than second or third in this race as long as he runs his race. And we'll get to the reasons why later. Now, it's number 6, Disarm. Was not even close in the Oaklawn handicap. Really not done much of anything in 2 years. He finished second in the Travers that year, won the Matt Win. That was 2 years ago. But it's becoming obvious that he's not a grade 1 caliber horse. Every graded stakes race since the start of 2024, he's lost by at least 4 lengths, up to 8 lengths. And all I can say for Steve Asmussen is at least he's got Rosario on the horse and not dragging up one of his kids to ride him. So at least he's got that going for him. But anyway, we're going to get to number 7, the White Aario. Dude's live in every race except the Met Mile, so to speak. He's run like shit in that race the last few years, but it worked like a champ in 2023 because it vaulted him to the Whitney Stakes win and then ultimately the Breeders' Cup Classic. And then 2024, the connections did not like what they saw out of Dutrow in that race. He lost the 2024 edition by 10 lengths. So they decided to send him back over to Saffie Joseph Jr. If you remember several years ago, in 2023, Saffie Joseph during Derby time had a problem. He got suspended, and there was a whole big deal at Churchill Downs with horses getting sick and conditions and all that. Well, they suspended him, but the connections felt like it's time to change it back. So they move him back down to Florida, and he trains out of Gulfstream, and the sunny Florida weather sparked him up because he won the 2025 Pegasus World Cup by 6 lengths. And then he just ran in the Ghost Zapper, padding the stats, prepping up. And so the 9 furlong distance looks right in his wheelhouse. He's going to be a top contender, probably going to be a popular choice, could be your betting favorite, to be honest with you. That brings us to number 8, Contrary Thinking. Late developing horse for Chad Brown, comes off an 8 furlong roasting of the field of 5 at Aqueduct. He dusted he was like 9-1, but he dusted the 2 chalk horses who were both sub 2-1 horses to score the victory. So it'd be a huge ask to even hit the board in this race. He's probably not ready to face these kind of horses, but worth a test for Chad Brown, I'm sure. So an extra body in the gate with the impending scratch of Mind Frame. So so that leaves us around 9 so far. We might even get another scratch, but if we get 8, at least 7 to 8, we're good. Now we come to number 9, Fierceness. We'll face that horse that kept Mike Rapoli and Rapoli Stables from that BC Classic last year. The City of Light Colt ran a monster that day, but he was caught by Sierra Leone. Then he comes out in 2025, sets the track record in the Ali Sheba in the debut on Oaks Day, and then succumbed to the sloppy Met Mile track. It took its toll on him, as did Raging Torrent, who's an absolute specialist in the 7 furlong to the mile division and a top 5 per DRF. So there's no shame in giving away to that. I think he's in a much better spot this time to flex the speed. He should get out in pretty clean break. Post time is to his outside. We'll talk about him in a minute, but he's a closer. And then Contrary Thinking could blast off. He might go right. He might just let Contrary Thinking slide out in front, and all he's got to do is just kind of ride that hip to the lead, and then he should be pressing right around second or third, really up close to the top. Maybe White Aario right behind him, up a little closer than normal as well. But we'll move on to the last one. Number 10 is Post Time. And this is a Maryland bred. And looking back, I really didn't notice it, but he doesn't win much outside of Laurel Park. Kind of similar to the horse Skelly with Oaklawn Park. He runs a lot of seconds and hits the board outside of Oaklawn, like Laurel. But he did get a confidence boost with a win at Laurel, subpar stakes race. But he seemed to have to work pretty hard to get there going down the stretch. But he does seem to run his race every time. So I do like his ability to hit the board, and he should be at a pretty decent price. But he is not the only late runner, as we know. So he's in pretty deep in this one. So we'll see what he's got. So anyway, that's your field for the Whitney Stakes. And my first leans after the post draw, kind of disappointing mind frame would scratch, because the post one has a 24% clip, I think, advantage. And I think he's got the good style for it. I think he would probably might be in a better spot than Fierceness, because Fierceness drawing the outside post, but I don't know that him moving down one, so he'll be in like post position 8. So I think the plan is probably Fierceness over Mind Frame. But with the speed of Mama's Gold and Contrary Thinking, it's a good pace setup for Sierra Leone to close into, and even better for White Aario, because he'll have the closer to the pace and get first strike at the leaders. So if he gets down the stretch motoring like he can do, good luck catching him, Sierra Leone. And then it's going to be like you could call you could go White Aario, Sierra Leone Fierceness. But I do like Hall of Fame's chances too. The form leading in, if he's got that form from the JC last year, he's going to be right up there pushing the pace too. So post time maybe hit the board, but those are the top choices. It kind of feels like a Sierra Leone White Aario affair if the pace is contested. But if it's not, then obviously Highland Falls and Fierceness fall into a good spot as well. So more to it this week. We got to do much more deep diving. I'm not going to be dialing out selections on a Monday like this, but I do appreciate you joining me for the preview show. Give you a good place to start. Get you a little sneak peek at the PPs. So this is a perfect race for a split the pot giveaway. Great betting race incoming. So I will be back with more videos covering, like I said, the Friday's Hall of Fame Stakes in pair with the Fourstardave on Saturday. Plus, we're going to try for 2 in a row in the Late Pick 5. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave that comment to get your name in the draw. Smash that like on your way out. It literally takes 20 seconds of your time and doesn't cost you a dime. And you can actually win real money. So till next time, see you soon. But one more announcement before we get going. Sometimes I schedule a video to release at a later time of the day, and I set it to an instant premiere, which basically means the first time it runs on the premiere, it's kind of like a watch party. So everybody can, you can go on there. They open up the chat, and you can chat back and forth with all the viewers that are watching the show. All 6 of them probably, but I know at least one watched, because he said that the comments were disabled. But they don't enable those comments until after that first run. So once the video runs through the first time, then the chat shuts down and the comments open. So that's where you can get your comments in.